Hey guys, welcome back to the True Rock Podcast. Today we have a special guest, as you know, Townsen Thomas. Super excited. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course.
Wow, this is great. This is awesome. Anyways, bro, I just have a random question for you.
Okay.
I haven't heard this one before yet. All right, so what happened was we already recorded this and it deleted. So, thanks. Anywho's, back to the podcast. All right, if there was another sport you could play,
Okay.
what sport are you playing, and why are you playing it?
Okay. I'm gonna say basketball. Only because I would dunk on every single body. Like everybody. I would dunk. I was just straight dunks.
So, like Victor Wembanyama, like the really tall guy that plays for San Antonio.
Except I'm 5'7", so it would be even.
Wait,
more
you said you're
impressive.
6'7"?
I wish.
You're an insanely big
Yeah,
softball
that'd
player.
be a crazy build.
That
yeah.
would be, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so who are you dunking on?
Georgia. Georgia men's, women's. Zach.
Bro, what?
Everybody.
Dunking on me, bro? That's
Shaq.
Shaq?
Call him out. Let's go.
Oh yeah, Shaq, bro. Shaq, get over here, bro. You're from Florida, or no? You're not from Florida, but yeah.
Let's
Yeah, bro. Shaq, you're getting dunked on, dog. Shaq, if you see this, Townsend's dunking on you, bro. I don't know what to say. So how many like points are you getting in a game, like single handedly, solo dolo?
90. Absolutely.
So all right, so take me through your scorecard. Are you getting 45 dunks?
Well, I'm gonna get fouled about 50 times.
So
So
you're
I
getting
gotta make
analyzed.
my free throws, but the rest of them I'm gonna just, dunk on.
So are you making all your dunks and getting like and one fouled?
No, because when I dunk on the people, they're just gonna fall down anyway, so they're not even in the picture. They're not gonna foul me. They can't foul me.
Oh.
So I'm gonna just take the ball from the other team, run it down the court.
From Georgia, right? That's what you're saying.
Obviously.
That's so heartbreaking. Go Dogs.
Go Gators.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, from the Georgia basketball team, Samoto Surreal, you're getting dunked on by her. He's the.
I don't know who that is, but bring it.
That's a center for the Gators. That's like Ruben Chinyelu for the Gators, except sadly Samoto's not as good as Chinyelu.
Go Gators.
Chinyolu's just an absolute dog. Yeah.
So, okay. This podcast is just Gators are better.
Okay, buddy, you're canceled. I'm kidding. So actually, we're gonna wrap this podcast up right now. I'm kidding. Anyways, what this podcast is actually about is what we're all here for. Georgia basketball. Totally kidding. Please don't disappoint me, bro. You have to win a couple games in March Madness. We're getting home like the second round. Florida is not, probably. Anyways, back to better things. Jesus. So obviously Jesus is a great guy. A lot of you may know who Jesus is, but there is a distinction between knowing who Jesus is and knowing who Jesus is. Right? A lot of people know Jesus with their head, like they know who Jesus is, but they have to have a heart knowledge of Jesus. Maybe they have to, I don't know, have something happen or whatever for them to know who Jesus is. And so, Townsen, for you, I would love to know, what was a moment that Jesus became real to you? Like, when was Jesus, like, you know what, Jesus is Jesus, man.
Absolutely. So, I've always grew up in faith. I was baptized from a young age. I was baptized at 7, and then been going to church, vacation Bible study, all the glitz and glamour. But it wasn't until probably the second half of my sophomore year of high school where I really fully bought into building a relationship with Jesus. And that came from me getting injured in track. I was running track, and I'm a hurdler, so it was in one of the biggest meets, probably, or leading up to one of the biggest meets of my career. And first hurdle's good, hit the second hurdle, I go down, and I'm just in my head, I'm just like, man, I'm hurt. Like I can't walk, I can't run. Like it's potentially like a career-ending injury.
Yeah.
And I get my first surgery about 2.5 weeks later. They tell me I need another surgery. So first surgery goes. I didn't know exactly how that was gonna plan out, so I was just in my head. And then in between my first and second surgery, my grandma sits me down. She's like, Townsend, you're so much more than your sport. You know, God has blessed you with this beautiful life. Like, go to Him. Like, in this moment, turn to Him. He's going to get you through it. So, going into my second surgery, really just, I'm really fully bought into my scriptures. I'm praying to Him, and I'm just being thankful that I'm able to just, wake up every day being intentional with Him. And, yeah, it got me through that injury, and I'm here where I am right now. So.
That's awesome, bro. I think it's super neat because obviously with that, you probably have 1,000 thoughts racing through your mind. If you're going to even walk, like maybe, I don't know about walk again, but probably walk again.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when we hurt, like you think of the most outlandish things. Like for me, bro, when I get sick or something stupid, I'm like, dude, am I ever going to feel normal again? So I think what's neat about that is God uses situations like that seem very just terrible, and to use them for good. And for you being an athlete, obviously you played at the University of Florida, center fielder, and track was also a big part of your thing. So obviously you had track and softball in high school, correct?
Yeah.
Like that was two massive things that was kind of who you were. I mean, you probably obviously ate and slept and went to track, ate, slept, went to softball. With that, I think it could be easy to get your identity stuck in softball or track. So how do you follow and how do you balance following Jesus but also being an athlete and finding your, not yourself necessarily, but finding a massive part of who you are in those sports or those athletics?
So for me, obviously, like transitioning from high school to college, it's a little bit different. You have a little bit more responsibilities, a little bit more freedom in college. So honestly, I didn't find a more ideal way to go about my faith until I was welcomed into the Big Monday community here at campus. And one of my mentors now, she was talking about how in sports it's easy to prioritize your sport over God. And something for her that she initiated was, praying to start her day instead of fantasizing about what she needed to accomplish in her sport.
Yeah.
And so I started to take upon that. So every morning I would get down on my knees and I would pray to start my morning, just thanking Him for another day, thanking Him for the ability to continue the sport that He's blessed me with. So.
Yeah. And I think what's really cool is obviously we talked about this a little bit earlier. Anyway, we talked about this earlier, and I was so locked. Anyways, we talked about this earlier, and I think it's neat because balancing that is crazy, and you have to find yourself in your time because you have to start yourself out on the right foot every morning.
Yep.
And a lot of times for me, I know it's easy. I'll sit there and look at Instagram or Snapchat for however long just because I have nothing else to do. And if you look at a lot of people, they talk about how you have to start your morning maybe in scripture or maybe doing this or doing that. And I think ultimately it's just to get your mind right.
Yep. Because
your mindset is kind of what carries your day. If you wake up, usually if you wake up pretty mad, you're going to be just aggravated the whole day, And I think the reality is how often do we change and look at our mindsets, because your mindset when you got hurt was, oh my gosh, I'm cooked. At least I would think. That's what I would probably expect. And suddenly it's, you're obviously healed, you're in college now, and your mindset is, how do I spend time with Jesus? Because ultimately that's what you need. And I think also what's cool about your mindset is, as an athlete, that also kind of carries on to who you are. And so my next question is, have you ever been through a slump, like your softball career or any part of your life? And how has your faith helped you in that situation, because it can help with your mindset?
So recently, I kind of went through a pretty big slump. Opening this season, I wasn't performing as well as I wanted to.
Yeah.
And that kind of took a toll on me a little bit. And from a softball perspective, I didn't really change anything. I kept my routine. I trusted my coaches and just trusted the process that, I'm capable. I'm here for a reason. God has blessed me to be at this level. So just keep focusing on that. But the biggest thing that helped me through that and overcome that was my faith. And so me really just truly diving into the scripture and just seeing that, communicating with God and allowing him to just keep me going and not to be like down or anything. And so during that time, like the scripture, God was just like pointing out words and verses that were just standing out to me, and it kind of helped me realize that like life isn't going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But trusting in him and trusting in our faith is going to help us get through it. So.
Yeah, Nauber's just insane. Like, just doesn't miss a ball now. So. You know what I think is pretty cool, pretty neat, and I don't think I could ever do it. Obviously, I probably can't, or never would attempt. But like slap bunting?
Yeah.
Or not slap bunting, but slap hitting?
Yeah.
Like, how are you running at a ball that's coming at you and, like, can focus to hit it? How does that even work?
It just works. You just practice.
It just boggles my brain. Like, it don't even boggle my mind. It boggles my whole brain. Because, like, doesn't it make the ball faster? Or no?
If you think of it that way, but it also makes you closer to first. So, you pick your battles, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Dude, that's wild.
It's cool, though. And I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
So you'd rather slap than sit in the box and, like, just...
Swing away? I mean, I am a slapper, so...
Is there a difference? If you're... every time I watch softball, I always thought left-handed people run out of the box or slap.
No, not all the time.
Really?
Mm-mm. Most of our team aren't slappers. We only have 2 slappers.
So I've actually not really watched a lot of softball in my whole life. But, yeah, so that's pretty cool.
It is cool.
So do you get more power doing that? Or do you lose power?
The power is within you, essentially.
What do we like? Like some superhero movie right now, man? The power's within you.
Who are you? Like, if you're a stronger person, it doesn't matter if you're slapping or not. Naturally, you're going to have more power than somebody who isn't as strong as you.
Yeah, but like if I try to pick up a box with my back compared with my legs, I'm going to hurt myself with my back. Like the technique of it, does it change anything? Does it make you...
No. Technique, I mean, the technique is a byproduct essentially of who you are. Like you are your technique. It's like I don't slap the same way everybody else slaps, so it's different.
Huh.
So like I use my legs in my slap. I fully get through it. Some people just focus on tapping the ball, like making contact.
To like aim it.
Correct. So like the intent.
So you just try to hit it hard.
Correct. My focus is to hit it hard past people, not to hit it softly in front of them.
So if you're an athlete playing against Townsen, you're getting dunked on and the ball getting past you.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
something's like. And then I guess if you're Georgia, bro, you're just cooked. Yeah.
He said it. So.
Yeah, sadly. That's what happens when you live down here with Gators, bro.
Yep.
But it's cool. I understand, bro. I understand. But obviously, talking about big schools, Florida is a massive, prestigious school. It's got a lot of stuff to offer. But also, it's got a lot of things that are distractions or keep you caught up in things. So how do you manage yourself with all the, I don't know if you get a lot of free time, but the time that you have, obviously, you're from Texas, so your parents aren't here to kind of like, hey, make sure you're doing this. And you seem like a self-driven person anyways.
Yep.
But how do you make sure you don't get caught up in worldly activities or things that kind of pull you away from even your sport too?
I feel like for athletes, it's easy to kind of pick your path. Yep. Most of the time, it's either like you're going towards the worldly things, or you just stay away from it. And for me, it was easy to kind of just pick my own side and just stick to myself. That's just more who I am. And so I would prefer to spend time as in my word, praying. I love to play my guitar. I draw, paint. I do other hobbies that I would prefer to, you know, put my attention and time to instead of getting caught up in the world.
Yeah. So basically, she walked in the crib and just looked at me, dead square in my face, and was like, "Do you play guitar?" Because the guitar's sitting on the wall, and I'm like, "You play guitar, right?" As in, I asked her the same question she asked me, and she's like, "Yeah." And so for me, I don't play guitar, not much. She proceeds to pick the guitar up and just absolutely go crazy. And I just learned she had a band.
Yeah, kind of.
It was a band.
We had a neighborhood band, yeah.
Apparently there was no vocalist, which is kind of crazy. And they just all added bits and pieces in, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, it's communal singing.
But she was the guitarist.
Yes.
So that's cool.
That's cool.
But you don't get good at guitar unless you practice.
Correct.
So she practices a lot, apparently.
Practice and hard work. Yep.
And she paints, too.
I do.
And you draw.
And I draw.
Not me, bro. I don't do none of that.
God gave me a plethora of hobbies and talents to be blessed with. So.
That's it, bro.
Okay.
And, you got to use it, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Got to do it. So, man, that's awesome.
Don't worry, we'll help Zach learn a little bit more on his guitar skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can't watch Georgia and enjoy Georgia because she's going to dunk on everybody. Oh, my gosh, dude. Somebody, if you're watching this and you're, like, inclined to do this, can you take an edit of Townsen just dunking on all the Georgia Bulldogs team? That's one thing I'd actually be, like, interested to see.
You don't have to.
Or do it.
Okay.
Like, not even to be, like, mean to, like, this is not a hate at Georgia. I love Georgia. Like, that's my team. But just to see, like, Townsen just soaring through the air, bro, like, just sadly dunking on Samoto Surreal, I would kind of sad, but I think it would be kind of great. That would be funny.
I don't even know who that is, but it's okay.
That's the oh, God. They're really well at training their guys, or their players for media. The amount of Go Gators I've heard today is kind of saddening. It's more than I'm used to. But it's okay. Like, I get it. She definitely has a reason to say Go Gators. And I don't really have a reason to say Go Dogs, other than my heart is just tied to them. So
that means you need to say Go Gators. We'll work on it.
Probably not. I'll like say Go Townsend or Go John or Luke Whitty. Like, but other than that, that's as far as we got right now. But if you're on the podcast and you're a Gator, I'll say go you. But if there's a lot of you, then yeah, I kind of might start saying it, sadly. Anywho's, on to bigger and better things, because I guess the Gators are good right now.
And better.
Okay, so
All right.
yeah, I don't really know what to say to that. Anyways, back to the thing here. Obviously, softball is a really cool sport. There's a ton of people. There's a ton of. I think there's a ton of buzz around softball. I know, like you said, there's not a ton of pro level stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at travel ball, there's a massive travel ball community.
Yeah.
There's a massive there's a cool. A lot of colleges have softball. I think I don't know how many colleges have softball, but there's a lot.
Yeah.
But also there's people aspiring to be in the same seats that Townsend's in. I went to a softball game a week ago, I don't know. And basically there was a bunch of younger girls that were there to support the Gators. And I could only imagine that they have a dream of playing for the Gators. Which, sadly, Florida's better than Georgia in softball. So I can't say anything about Georgia in that. But, obviously they aspire to do that. And so for me when I was younger, even in middle school, the high school guys were cool. Yeah. Or dude, if a college guy would talk to me, bro, that's awesome. So it's as a college athlete, speaking to a 12, 13-year-old girl that's in the stands watching Townsend play center field, or power slap a ball over the fence into like the road,
Yeah.
what would you tell her? And this can be like spiritual advice because I mean that is important, but also like mental advice, like whatever it looks like for you. What would you say to that child or that person?
I would just say just work hard, have a hardworking mindset towards everything, whether that is faith or sports itself, because like practicing your habits and building a routine for everything is gonna, allow you to get better, allow you to, like achieve your goals. If you do want to make it to the next level, you have to take care of your body. You got to take care of your mind. You have to take into consideration everything that goes into it. And it's the same thing with the building relationship with Christ. Like you have to read your scriptures. You got to pray. You have to be able to put the time in order to allow something to flourish into something bigger and better.
Yeah, and because ultimately, as you just said, I mean, you basically just said it all, which is awesome. But obviously, everything you do takes time, especially if you do something to get good. I mean, Townsend might have had a great ability to slap a ball when she first started softball, but to get to where she is now, there had to be a lot of hours and work put into that.
Absolutely.
But even deeper than that, and more of my focus is the spiritual level of it. I can't speak into the athletic part of it because I didn't do that. I did not put in the work on the athletics to do that. But spiritually, it's important because it's the same thing. You have to read, and exactly what you said. You have to read. You have to pray. You have to sit there and worship. You have to sit there and just be present with God. You have to intentionally take time to do that. Just like you have to intentionally take time to work out, intentionally take time to eat properly. You have to intentionally take time to stretch and go to therapy and work on your body and make sure everything is working. Because for you, like obviously Townsend playing at 100% is going to be a lot better than Townsend playing at 70%. So it's kind of all the same stuff, and I think it's neat because even a Townsend at 70% is like miles beyond a Zach at 1,000%. You know what I mean? Like that's just, but there's levels to it, and so like once you get to the level of just greatness, like you're there, and then it's I don't know, it's all just like, and then you're like peaking, and then you're like there, and you're, anywho's, but yeah, it's all neat. So, this is like a serious question. So when you go to dunk on somebody, where are you jumping from? Are you like half court jumping?
Probably not half court.
Could you imagine? No,
Yeah,
just playing, bro.
probably not half court.
Anyways, but now a real serious question. So obviously you talked about your knee injury. Super, probably like a challenging time in your life, spiritually, emotionally, physically, because you had to put time and effort into healing it. You had to put PT into it. You had to make sure you were properly taking care of it. Emotionally, you had no idea what was going on. I mean, you probably did at some point, but not in the moment. And then it's like, am I going to play softball again? Am I going to run again? Am I going to, the process of it's probably terrible. And then spiritually, it's like, wow, what do we even do? Because, I had these super big hopes, and then all of a sudden they were just crushed. And because the way your accident, or not accident, your injury happened, it was like a super unique thing. At least that's what you told me. And like, the reality is like a lot of people would probably blame that on God, right? But there's a shift of like blaming it on God and using it to like, wow, God worked through this, and now I'm where I'm at. And obviously, like you put in the work too, right? Like you did everything, but also there is like a spiritual side of it that allowed you, like helped you get there. And so looking back at Townsend in 12th grade at the injury, a couple weeks after the injury, maybe a month after, however you want to put it, what would you tell yourself?
Yeah, honestly, I would just try to tell myself to take a moment and just to breathe, because there was so much going through my head at that time. Like there was, the doubts of whether I wanted to continue with track or whether or not I wanted to continue with sports in a whole, and I wanted to be able to I had a season going to be able to participate in nationals and be really ranked and high and to have an amazing season, and that got taken away from me. And so being able to now tell myself to breathe, take a moment to incorporate Jesus and to thank him for allowing me to be able to even have the ability to be able to be where I was at in that moment, and to fully trust that through him that he's going to allow the process, allow the progress to enable me to be where I am today. Even though it was hard in the moment to see the other side of the tunnel, just being able to understand that God wouldn't have put me in that situation if he didn't have anything better ahead for me. So,
Yeah, it's awesome.
yeah.
And I think it's super cool because, again, you had all those thoughts and you decided, like, you know what, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And now you're living out probably a lot of little girls' dreams. So that's awesome. I think that's neat. And then I guess the dream of you dunking on somebody. Yeah, bro. So, Shaq, just know, bro, if you're ever in Florida, because, why were you not in Florida? You're getting dunked on, bud.
Or Zach. I mean, we could run it on the court. 1v1, me versus Zach. Let us know who y'all got. I mean, I'm gonna stick to my dunks because I'm not a shooter, but
Honestly, bro, I got her winning, bro. Like, it's grits, bro. It's barbecue chicken, bro. I just don't think I have it in me. So.
But he has the Jordans on. He does have Jordans on, so maybe MJ will help him out a little bit.
I'm gonna need MJ to come here to help me out, bro. Like, hey, Mike, bro. Bro just starts just whamming on everybody. Goodness gracious. Yeah. We're gonna play like 20-foot rims, bro. Because you can't dunk on me, bro.
I'll just start fouling.
So who do you have actually? Yeah. So, yeah. Part 2 is on us on the court.
It's on the court.
Anyways, Townsen, is there anybody you'd like to thank at the crib? Is there like a
shout out?
Little shout out, bro. Something like.
Yeah. Honestly, just probably my grandmas, my yaya and my granny.
Yaya's such a tough name, bro.
Just being there for me when I was at my low point my sophomore year, just telling me to turn the faith and just, be thankful for everything.
That's awesome.
And then also my high school track coach. She was awesome. Yeah. Also facilitating me in that process and just telling me that, injuries happen, but she's going to be there for me to just help me get through it, to just keep smiling and keep going.
Keep smiling. Yeah. And so now she believes, or now she is going to dunk on people. So. Thank you, track coach.
Yeah.
You're the GOAT.
Absolutely.
Because you can dunk on people. Anyways, Townsen, I do appreciate your time. Yes, it's been great.
Amazing time.
Love learning about your story. I hope you love learning about Townsen as well. If you're a young softball player, bro, honestly, like she said, just work hard. If you're a young person in general, work hard, and you kind of make your pass. Obviously, the Lord directs it, and you have your pass that you want to choose, but ultimately, God chooses it. Yeah. And so I don't know why your injury happened, but obviously it was for a reason, and you're obviously sitting here. So.
And I'm grateful for it. Honestly, as weird as it may sound.
It's great. It's crazy.
I'm grateful.
But anyways, well, like I said, I appreciate your time, and I thank you for being here. I thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I see the hands going for the.
No, nothing.
And there's nothing going on here. Just about to see a massive gator chomp in the right side of my eyes. But.
Go Gators.